Testimony. I got a testimony. I called our dear pastor friend in Texas. Well, actually, I texted her and I told her to call me when she could, and that evening, Pastor Larry from Texas called. She was our worship leader. Pastor Larry, we love you. We're praying for you. She was our worship leader, and she is the best. Pastor Larry, you are the best. And we miss you. But she went to her father died, and then the brother was going to take over the church, and then he died. He was only 38 years old. So Pastor Larry went to Texas to take over that church, to pastor that church. And I talked on the phone the other day. She's our friend for many, many years. And she gets all Texas unlisted people. And we got on the phone, and she was telling me about some situations and things for us to pray for her. And I was bringing up to date. And I said this to her. I said, Larry, we got our brains kicked in. A lot of crazy things happen. And this is what she said. Yeah, but you had a lot of victories. Love you. You're smart. She didn't dwell on the negative and the problems and Dalesio has problem. She saw the victories. And this is one of the reasons that I tell people things. Because I know we're going to get through it. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to get through it. People say that where God guides, He provides. So if you're having a little struggle, maybe it's not God. Where God guides, He provides, but not without a battle. I'll tell you how Apostle Paul said it. A door, a great door, an effectual door was open unto me, but there are many adversaries. Adversaries don't hang around closed doors. I like a message that I heard. John was preaching in the panhandle of Florida for 3 years. And we was on television. We was on television station. That was one of the stations we was on, and up in Tallahassee and in Pensacola and other stations. And we had a hotel, Shoney's. They were a sponsor of our television program. And we would make a mention about their hotel, and they would give me a room to stay when I went there, because I would go a week at a time. And it was a nice room. It was two-story, a two-story room with a balcony. Very nice. And I would go up and preach on Monday through Friday in different churches, come back to Central Florida, preach at my church on Sunday, and go back Monday for almost 3 years. And one day, Monday, I arrive at the hotel. I put my bags in. I turned the television station on to the Christian station that we were on, because our program came on, I think it was 12:30 noon, and it was right behind John Hagee's program that came on at 12. So I went in the room, I turned, hey, on. And I hear John Hagee say, when God gives you, you know, like with his voice, when God gives you $1 million promise, you're going to have $1 million problem. I said, finally, somebody got it. He says, when God gives you $1 million promise, you're going to have $1 million problem. He said, because when you have a promise, and then comes the provision, but between the promise and the provision, there will be a problem. Because the enemy will try to stop you from letting that promise come to pass, especially if you are like me and Joseph, who tells everybody what God's going to do. And the enemy tries to rob your testimony. So I tell people, yep, friends, partners, this is where we are. This is what happened. This is what's facing. If we all stick together, we'll get through it that much faster. We want you part of it. We're going to get the victory. And then there are those people who, I got my own problem. And there are people that just can't handle the heat. They got to get out of the kitchen. And what happens is, when you have that problem, know this. If you're walking in the Spirit and you have that problem, you know this. Promotion is coming. Promotion is coming. But between now and that promotion, there's going to be battles. Call them spiritual battles, call them whatever you want. It's like happened to me. This is scriptural. We had the television ministry, and I saw an attack coming. So I gathered all our pastors that were connected with us, and I said to them, I got you together, and there was too many to meet in one group, because what I was going to do, have a meeting with them and their spouse. I told them to bring their husband or their wife, and then we were going to go to the best steakhouse to eat. So we had groups, and I met with them in different groups, and I said, I just want you to know our television ministry is blessing everybody, including you. And I said, there's an attack coming against the television ministry, God showed me. But if we all stick together, we'll get through it that much quicker. Oh yeah, we're with you. They didn't stay with me. They left me with a $500,000 debt. They did. And I don't understand how God did it. I don't ever remember how it went away. A local station, they wanted $80,000. The satellite, we was on satellite, they wanted a lot of money. I don't know how God did it. I don't know. I was thinking about this recently. I went to bed debt free. I woke up needing $500,000. I remember waking up every day for about a month needing $500,000. It was not fun. And then it was gone. God took care of all of it. So we went from debt-free to $500,000 in debt to being debt-free again. I don't know how God did it. We just kept giving and working and giving and working. Seed time and harvest. We got through it. Those people who said they were going to with us because they were all involved, they didn't get in on the blessing. But I have a testimony. We got the victory. Well, where is that? And give me a scriptural reference on that, preacher. Oh, I think I might do that. A fellow named Gideon, he had a pretty big congregation. 37,000 people in his congregation. You know the story about Gideon? 37,000 people. God tells him there's a battle coming. And God says to him, go tell the people there's a battle coming. And he said, tell them that if they're afraid, they don't have to come in this battle. If they don't want to, tell them, say, we're going to face a battle. It's going to be not a fun battle. And tell them it's not going to be easy. So all of them that don't want to be in this battle with you while you go forward, tell them they could leave. Guess what happened? 36,700 left. And he was left with 300. Could you imagine having a church of 37,000? And now you go to Sunday morning to preach? You don't see 300 people. You know what you see? 36,700 empty seats and bills. He got very depressed. He was very upset. He became fearful, like, what are we going to do? It was tough times. Do you like peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What kind of sandwich do you like? Prime rib?
Doesn't matter, Pastor John.
He couldn't afford prime rib. He had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, 2 of them. He was so fearful and upset, he hid them. It's like the kids in our house. I buy cookies, and I look in the cabinet. What happened, Jennifer? Oh, Emily took it back to her room. Emily's hiding a bed in her room. They take their favorite little thing, and they hoard it. Gideon took his last little bit of lunch, and he hid it. The angel of the Lord came. He said, Gideon, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon started looking around. Who are you talking to? Because when you get a low like that and you're beat up and you get a good work like that, your self-image, this can't be for me. Do you know how I'm feeling? I'm oppressed. I don't even want to live right now. What are you talking about? Gideon, you mighty man of valor. You talking to me? Yep. One word from God can cancel out 36,000 negative words. Forgive me, 36,700. One word from the Lord can cancel out. 36,700 didn't want to go with him. They didn't believe him. But that one word of the Lord said, you mighty man of valor. That's who I am. I know who I am. God just told me who I am. Changed his whole faith. He said, Gideon, take the 300. By the way, they tested them before they got to the 300 that I want to take time to get into. He said, yeah, you're going to go war and you're going to win. You know, we're down on our weapons. We're down on our people. Are you sure? Yeah. What do you want me to do? I want you to get a pitcher and a flashlight and a trumpet. With a pitcher and a flashlight and a trumpet, they won the war with Gideon's 300. Gideon was able to do more with the 300 than with the 37,000. But a lot of the people didn't see that. No. Noah said, God told Noah to build me an arky, because it's going to rain. You know what the people said? What's rain? It didn't even rain then. The moisture came up from the ground. 5 years go by. Here's Noah. Get ready, there's a flood coming. They laughed at him and they mocked on. Years passed. The flood came. Noah believed God. That one word from the Lord changed Gideon's life. But a lot of people don't have the eyes of faith and the eyes of understanding, and they're, forgive me, not you, of course, but many people are just selfish. It's my for and no more. I want my security. Once I get my income, and once I get my house, and once all my bills are paid, and then I'll give to God, or then I'll serve God. But I want my little security. That's not faith. If that's what God wants you to do, and by the way, it's wisdom to do that, but sometimes God tells you, get out of your comfort zone. So, Pastor Larry, I salute you. I told Jennifer about our conversation. And I said, Pastor Larry, we just went through some hard times. And this is what she said. Yeah, but you had many victories. Being around me all those years helped you. And vice versa. Do you see the difference? Does anybody? Why are you all looking at me like with this look on your face, this guy's crazy? That's why I tell people, this is what's happening. Partners, this is what's happening, friends. This is what's happening, family. We're going to get through it. And some just, they don't pass the test. And then when you get through it, then you have a testimony of how you got through it. You never will be an overcomer if you have nothing to overcome. How are you going to be an overcomer if you don't, there's things to overcome? So anyway, Pastor Larry, I thank you for having the eyes of faith and seeing the victories. You are the best. We're praying for you, and you keep praying for us also. Good.